Hi, guys. Oops, I clicked the wrong screen. Looks like you guys saw my face in my red shirt. Feel so naked when that happens. You saw me without my hat. Too much info, but hopefully you guys liked my shirt. Okay. All right, so let's get started with some agency stuff. All right, ready, guys? Okay. What happens if the agent has not located a buyer by the end of the listing period? A, the listing price is reduced by 7.5%. B, the listing is automatically extended for additional 90 days. C, the broker can sue for reimbursement of marketing expenses. D, the agency relationship terminates. And the answer is D. Okay, good. The agency relationship terminates. Okay, next question. A representative with full authority to bind the principal to all agreement is A, an accidental agent, B, a special agent, C, a general agent, or D, a double agent. Okay, and the answer is, what do you guys think? The full authority. C, a general agent. Never circle double agent on your real estate exam. That only comes up in James Bond movies. All right. Okay, general agent has that full authority. The special agent would be more like, a real estate agent who has a defined thing to do. And there's no such thing as an accidental agent. Sophie asked me, double agent is the same meaning as a dual agent, or is it a trap answer? It's a total trap, just like in the James Bond movies. Double agent has no meaning other than to throw you off. Okay? So with that being said, what is a dual agent? What is a dual agent? What do you guys think? What's a dual agent? What is dual agency? What is dual agency? Okay, so it's illegal, but what is it? Does not matter if it's legal or illegal in your state. You guys all got to know what it is. Okay? It's when the broker represents both the buyer and the seller. It's when the broker both represents the buyer and the seller. Okay? Who here knows what the essentials of an agency is? Okay, what's the essential elements of an agency? What do you guys think? What are the essential elements of an agency? What are the essential elements of an agency? Okay, the term ACOLD should come up. Okay, the acronym ACOLD should come up. Okay, so what does that acronym stand for? What do you guys think? What does that stand for? ACOLD. I guess you could also remember DOLCA or COLDA, whatever works for you. Okay, accountability, confidentiality, obedience, loyalty, and disclosure. Everybody remember that. Accountability, confidentiality, obedience, loyalty, and disclosure. Accountability, confidentiality, obedience, loyalty, and disclosure. Good. Okay, let's look at this question in front of us. The fiduciary duty of full disclosure requires the seller's agent to A, advertise listed property frequently, B, advertise the buyer about how much the seller is likely to accept the property, C, tell the principal anything that would be of use to neighbors, D, obey all the seller's lawful instructions. And the answer is oh. A lot of you guys circled D, but the answer is C. So we're going to have to go over that one again later. Okay. The fiduciary duty of the full disclosure requires the seller agent to tell the principal anything that would be of use in the negotiation. Okay. All right. This is super tricky. I want you guys to pay attention on this one. When you guys, and this, you guys got to look at your real estate books on this one. Okay. When you guys have your contract, you have the listing agent and the selling agent. All right. Okay. So that can get confusing. On the real estate contract, it's not buyer and seller. It's listing agent and seller's agent. Okay. All right. Yeah. Always disclose, disclose, disclose. In a real estate transaction, both the seller's agent and the buyer's agent are legally required to put whose interest first? The sellers, the principals, the buyers, their brokers. What do you guys think? Their principals, their respective parties. Good. Play for your team first. Did anybody see that Nathan's hot dog eating contest yesterday on TV where that guy ate all those hot dogs in like 2 minutes? He ate like 75 hot dogs in like a few minutes or something ridiculous. Oh, every one of my friends who's from a different country who saw that was mortified. All the Americans I know were like, woo, America, 4th of July. The Nathan's hot dog eating contest. It's so gross. Okay. It's one of those things that people from other places look at us as Americans and go like, what the is going on there? So just remember that when we make fun of other people's traditions, we do have the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Try thinking about that if you're from a different country and you see that from the first time. You'd be like, what? Okay. Here we go. Laws of agency. The situation with the most potential for conflict is when a real estate licensee acts as A, a seller's agent, B, a dual agent, C, transaction broker, or D, buyer's broker. Okay, and the answer is B, dual agent. All right. A real estate licensee is usually presumed to be the agent of the A, party with whom a written contract has been signed, B, party paying the commission, C, owner of the real estate, D, buyer. Lucy says A. Marco says A. Lawanda says A. Looks like we're all going with A here. And it is A. Good job, guys. Yep, it's the principal. Okay, moving right along. Jones agrees to represent Brown in the sale of a property. The listing contract states that Jones will receive a $25,000 from Brown at closing. Regardless of the sales price, is this a valid form of compensation? A, no, the seller should pay on a basis of stated percentage of a contract price. B, yes, compensation can be determined in any number of ways as long as the seller and broker agree. C, no, a flat fee exposes the seller to being cheated. D, yes, the broker is supposed to charge what the traffic will bear. Okay, the answer? Yes, compensation can be determined in any number of ways as long as the seller and broker agree. You guys remember the four essentials of a valid contract, right? What are the four essentials of a valid contract? Who could tell me the four essentials of a valid contract? Okay, so you need consideration, agreement, lawful object, and capable parties. Consideration, agreement, lawful object, and capable parties. Okay. All right. So this question refers to, you got the compensation, which is consideration, and we talk a lot about consideration. Doesn't have to be money, any number of things, right? And there's agreement. Okay. So remember that. Kathy Clark says, "Oops." I found out the oldest word for people, and applies to every language. Just a little fun fact for you guys. The oldest word in our species as human beings that applies to every language, the one word that applies to all languages across the world is the word uh-oh. Little interesting fact for you guys. The word uh-oh is understood in every single language across the world. Uh-oh. Okay. Jones makes a written offer to buy Brown's house for $250,000. Jones confides in Brown's agent, White, that if necessary, he would pay $10,000 more, but he doesn't want Brown to know. White should A, warn Jones that he must pass on to Brown anything useful he knows. B, present the offer to Brown but respect Jones' confidentiality. C, explain to Jones why the house isn't worth more than $250,000. Or D, refuse to convey the lower offer to Brown. Okay. And the answer is, oh, A. A lot of you guys circled A, but it's B. Let's look at this again, super close, okay? Jones makes a written offer to Brown to buy Brown's house for $250,000. Okay. Joe confides to Brown's agent. Okay, so Jones writes a written offer to Brown. Brown's agent White, that if necessary, he would pay $10,000 more, but he doesn't want Brown to know. Okay, White should warn Jones that he must pass on to Brown anything useful he knows. Okay, so that goes with that whole disclosure. Okay, and you got to remember who the agent works for in this scenario as well. Okay, that's the other key factor here. You got to be careful about who the agent works for in this scenario and where their fiduciary duty lies. Jones lists his house and tells his listing agent Brown, I'm listing for $480,000, but I might take less. Brown may properly, A, keep the information to himself, B, advertise the property for $400,000 or less. C, share Jones' statement only with the buyer's broker. Or D, explain Jones' position to prospective buyers in an effort to obtain an offer. And the answer is A. Good. I always say if you can't say it to the world, then you shouldn't be saying it at all. Okay. And if you know that that seller would not want you to tell everybody they would take less, then you shouldn't say it, you know? Hey, that would ruin that fiduciary relationship, that all too precious fiduciary relationship. Once an agency relationship is ended, any confidential information learned by the agent during the relationship is A, considered to be used for blackmail, B, shared with future clients, C, a part of the MLS historical database, or D, still confidential. What do you guys think? There you go. D. Remember that thing about the agency relationship when I said accountability, confidentiality? That was one of those essentials of the agency relationship. Okay. So everybody write again: accountability, confidentiality, obedience, loyalty, and disclosure. Write those things. Okay. Would you guys like to keep doing these questions, or would you prefer I switch it up and we do some vocabulary? What would you guys like? You let me know. Let's see if we can take a vote here. Carmen says vocabulary, loose questions, 1-to-1, one for vocab, one for questions, 2 for vocab, 2 for questions, 3 for questions. So it's 2-to-3. Okay, it looks like we're gonna keep doing questions. All right, so let's keep going with these questions. But if there's a vocabulary word that you don't understand, please write it in there and I'll be happy to talk about it, okay? All right, here we go. Moving on with the questions. The relationship of a property manager with the owner is A, special agency, B, dual agency, C, general agency, or D, limited partnership. What do you guys think? See, everybody's going with C. Good job, because they have multiple responsibilities, all right? Whereas special agency is something more specific. Okay. I don't do a lot of property management in these webinars because not every state asks about that. But a property manager, that is definitely general agency because they have multiple responsibilities and it continues on. That specific agency, it goes to one thing, and when that one thing's done, they move on. Yeah, they are licensed, and the license requirements vary upon different states for property managers. Some have a specific property management license, some just need a real estate license, but they all need to be licensed in one form or another. So that property management stuff gets much more state specific. A real estate agent who is placed in a position of trust, loyalty, and confidence is an A, dual agent, B, independent contractor, C, fiduciary, D, principal. The answer is C. Good. C. Independent contractor has to do with more your agreement with your respective company you're working with. Okay, if you're an employer, independent contractor, fiduciary has to do with more of the relationship with the clients. If a salesperson acts as an independent contractor, then A, he controls his own working hours. B, his broker must withhold income tax from his commission checks. C, all of his listings belong to him. D, he is responsible to his broker as to his work is performed. And the answer is he controls his own working hours. Okay, so even though you're under the legal license of a broker, you could do what you want when you want. Different brokers have different laws, but as a general thing, shouldn't say laws, different rules, I should say. But as a general rule, the independent contractor does whatever he wants to do as long as it's legal. And they just care about the money that's produced at the end. A broker's negligence in preparing a sales contract allows purchaser to void the agreement, breaches duty to her client of A, honesty, B, personal performance, C, due care, and D, accuracy. What do you guys think? C. Brooke asked me if a real estate agent works for the broker independent contractor. You work as an independent contractor under the broker. You can also work as an employee if you like, but that's not your standard agreement. Typically, real estate agents are independent contractors. But if it applies to an individual situation, they could be an employee too. But generally speaking, they're independent contractors who work for the brokerage house. A seller has listed a home with a broker for 90 grand. Man, where's that home? Mississippi. And the broker tells a prospective buyer to submit a low offer because the seller is desperate to sell. The buyer offers $85,000 and the seller accepts it. In this situation, A, the broker acted properly to obtain a quick offer on the property. B, any broker is authorized to encourage such bids for the property. C, the broker was unethical, but the seller did not get to sell her property. D, the broker has violated his agency relationship with the seller. And the answer is D. Good job, guys. What are you guys doing to relax to get ready for this exam? Anybody got any relaxation techniques they want to share with everybody? So I know we're all super nervous. Most of us have not taken an exam in a really long time. Anybody got anything? Workout, okay. Oh. Louis Hay, I'll have to check that out. Eat my feelings. I would say ice cream, but as I get older, that has bad effects on my body. Louise Hay. Okay, so we'll all check that out. All right, on to the next question. What is a client during a real estate transaction? A, any person who signs an agreement for the sale or purchase of property with a license. B, any person who expresses interest in working with an individual firm or a license. C, any person who phones or visits a company seeking more information about specific properties. D, any person who views property in the company of a licensed salesperson or broker. Lucy says A. Linda says C. Jen A. Okay. Here we go. And the answer is A. Good job, Lucy. Okay, A. Any person who signs an agreement for the sale or purchase of property with a license. Okay. Where are you guys calling from today? Write the state you're in now. What state are you guys in? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Not the right way to ask that. Just curious where we're all coming from. Ooh, we're all over the place. Ah, Toronto, Ontario. I think they speak English there. Or is that French? Bonjour. Parlez-vous français? Bonjour. Si, un peu. Okay. Here we go. On to the next question. Micah agrees to represent Dan in the sale of a property. The listing contract states that Micah will receive a fee of $25,000 from Dan at closing. Regardless of the sales price, is this a valid form of compensation? A, no, a flat fee exposes the seller to being cheated. B, yes, the broker is supposed to charge what the traffic will bear. C, no, the seller should pay on the basis of a stated percentage of contract price. D, yes, compensation can be determined in any number of ways as long as the seller and broker agree. And the answer is D. Good job, guys. It's all about what is agreed. That's right, Brooke. As long as there's agreement, then you're good to go. Florida, Brooke. Yep. That's one of the harder ones, the Florida exam. Okay, which of the following is a requirement for a valid agency relationship? A, compensation. B, brokerage license. C, mutual consent. D, written agreement. What do you guys think? Okay, C, good. Good job. Some of you guys may think of license here, but remember, it says nothing about real estate in the question. All right. That's right. You got an oral agreement. Which of the following listings is illegal in most states and open to fraudulent dealings? A, an exclusive right to sell. B, an exclusive agency. C, an open listing, or D, a net listing? Not illegal in all states, but in most states, yeah. California doesn't seem to mind. D, a net listing. Good. Of the listings on the board, which one do you not have to prove that you're the procuring cause? That's right, Lucy. Okay, which one do you not have to prove that you're the procuring cause? The answer is A, exclusive right to sell. Why is that? Who knows why that is? Why do you not have to prove that you're the procuring cause? Why an exclusive right to sell do you not have to prove that you're the procuring cause? Jillian says one broker, but an exclusive agency has one broker as well. Okay, because exclusive right to sell, no matter who buys it, you get paid. If a principal terminates the listing agreement during the listing period, the broker may be able to do any of the following except A, collect a commission for a transaction in process, B, encourage termination of any contract in process, C, continue to cooperate with any subsequent listing broker, D, recover market expenses. What do you guys think? Oh, a lot of you guys wrote D, but the answer is A. Excuse me, B. If a principal terminates the listing during the listing period, the broker may be able to do any of the following except, okay? It's not, the answer is not recover marketing expenses, because if the principal terminates the listing agreement, right, when they're not supposed to, the agent could say, hey, I contracted to do 3 months, let's say, right? And I spent money here and you did not give me the right amount of time, all right, to market this property and find buyers as we agreed upon. So therefore, I may be able to go after those expenses. Okay. Think about it. If you contract for 90 days, right, and you pay for ads in a newspaper the first day, and then the next day they turn around and say, nope, I don't want to do this anymore. You'd be annoyed, right? You want your money back. You say, wait a minute, I just spent $1,000 on advertising here. Okay. And I spend that with the assumption I would reap the benefits over that advertising for the next few months. And by you ending it the next day, it defeated the purpose of me spending that $1,000, right? Does it make sense when I explain it like that? Hopefully it does for you guys. Okay. A real estate licensee has a buyer agency agreement. What is the seller in this situation? A, a fiduciary, B, an agent, C, a customer, or D, a client? What do you guys think? What do you guys think on this one? There's C, a customer. That's just rote memorization on that one. All right, we're going to do one more. One more. When negotiating a lease on behalf of a commercial real property landlord, the broker would usually calculate his commission as A, a percent of the rent due in the first year of the lease. B, a percent of the rent due for the entire lease period. C, a percent of the rent due for the 6 months of the lease. Or D, a percent of the first and last month's rent. What do you guys think? And the answer is B. And notice it says usually. You remember, you could agree to whatever you want. This says usually, not always. Careful of those tricky ones, okay? So in your real life, you may find exceptions to this, and there's nothing wrong with that because this is usually, not always. All right? Okay. Well, that being said, guys, that's it for today. I will not be here tomorrow. Please check the schedule, as the schedule is going to be a little tricky next week, but I will still be doing these webinars. All right. But after that, we'll be back on more of a regular schedule. So with that being said, write me if you ever need anything, and I will talk to you guys soon. Once again, this is Joe from PrepAgent. Okay. FHA question from before. What FHA question do you have? FHA is for insurance. Oh, yes. It has to be 1 to 4 residential and can't be for VA. That's the one. I did look that up from your question from before. Yes, you can't have that 1 to 3 day right of rescission with a VA loan. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. And I will see you soon. Enjoy your day and enjoy your weekend.